Hey guys, this is Ominus, and I'm playing my level 60 Undead Warlock, and welcome to Strategyst Plays. And today I learned a new word that I haven't heard probably in a long time, and I forgot what it meant. But I was talking to Off in the Head, and he had some physical therapy, occupational therapy, a doctor virtual meeting, and then he says, "Now I'm putzing," and I'm like, "Putzing along?" I go, "Not sure what putzing is." LOL. I know PT and I know OT and I know the virtual meeting. So he goes, goofing off equals putzing. So today's title is basically putzing along. That's what I'm doing. You see me in my t-shirt. I'm just totally relaxed and just doing my own thing. Um, so I'm letting Off in the Head know I think I will do Lobby Quest to hook up my Lobby Rogue. And if you guys don't know, my Lobby Rogue is the name is Kenita, and it's actually my wife's rogue, quote unquote, that she won't really use. So I use Kenita as a banking tune, so character. So what I'm telling him is I think I'm just gonna do lobby quests, and it's gonna be all in Orgrimmar, so there won't be any PvP. But I am set up to try to do some Alterac Valley later on. So right now, why am I doing a lobby quest, you might ask? You might be like, Ominous, really? You're just going to do lobby quests? Because now everybody's gotten this fever to do Zul'Gurub and do all these raids and all that, which is great. Nothing wrong with it. But they're forgetting the basics, of going back into dungeons and doing some dungeons. So early on, I don't think it'll show this, but early on, I said, hey guys, anybody want to do a dungeon? Anybody want to do a dungeon? Anybody want to do a dungeon? And yeah, nobody wants to do a dungeon. So yeah, pretty much I gave up asking about doing a dungeon, because it used to be let's do this, let's yeah, and Off in the Head actually replied that they don't know how to do them anymore, just raids and new content. And unfortunately, that's what's happening. Everybody's getting into the new raid and new content, but everything starts with the basics. That's like if with my hunter strategist, I PvP'd. I was good. I mean, I wasn't like the greatest, ever or anything, but I could hold my own. But everything starts off with the basics. The reason I could hold my own is I never forgot the basics. I never relied on my gear. I mean, gear's good, but I didn't make it a point to just stand there and rely on my gear to do everything for me. I moved. I stuck to the basics, and as you know, let me like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said, I mean, if you could hit somebody with a simple jab, even though it's a basic punch, but you can hit somebody with it, and you're mastering it, you're getting to a whole new level. But everything starts with the basics. If you don't practice, if you don't do it, if you lose it, you lose the touch. So all this new content is great, don't get me wrong, but don't forget the little things that can get you up there, because there's still things that you can do to build up your character. And there's people in the guild that they need to do the dungeons to finish some of the quests. So what we wanted to leave behind in retail, where it's like the new content, forget everything else, it's repeating itself in game, in classic again. So I'm saying it's repeating itself again like retail to Off in the Head. So I told him I'm a bit sad they're forgetting the basic dungeon so soon for new content. Not always a good sign. And Off in the Head is like, no. And, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to do Zul'Gurub. I want to do other things, you know. But, you know, Onyxia. I have yet to do Onyxia. And, you know, I don't know. So anyway, since nobody wants to do that, I decided to go to Orgrimmar. And, you know, my rogue is level 6. Actually, my wife's rogue, Kenita, is level 6. And actually level 5. I need to get it to level 6. However, I decided I want to do some quests with this guy in Orgrimmar. Like Razor Hill and all that. Just to get him out of the way. Get myself some reputation with the trolls and everything down there. Which I'm working on. Let me see how we're doing. Reputation. Yeah, look, you know, I'm getting there. Friendly. So I'm working my way up, and I'm, you know, let's see what happens, because I'm gonna do all the quests I can. I mean, I think that was my initial thing to do. I wanted to do what I didn't do with my hunter was that I was always busy PvPing. Hey, you want to go to dungeon? Nah. PvP, PvP. Yeah, occasionally a dungeon. I would go with a group, and it was too late for me because dungeons stopped being fun. Not so much for me, but for everybody that wanted the new content. So by the time I wanted to do the dungeons, everybody had moved on. So shame on me, but shame on other people, because you know you don't want to forget that. The reason people went to Classic is they didn't want to forget how it was and how everything was the way it was. But now, come the new content and people are forgetting the way it was. So people are forgetting that lesson. That's what I'm talking about, off in the head with. But then again, he's off in the head, so I might be off in the head with him. So oh, hold on. So I'm letting him know right now I'm streaming and I'm talking about what we are discussing. So my title is, let me see, Putzing Along, excuse me. So goofing off. So I'm goofing off and just going along with it, basically. That's why I called it that. Yeah, and then Off in the Head's like, oh, hold on, let me get on my mount. Yeah, when it's suddenly what happens is when they need stuff, then it's going to be like critical that they have to go to the old dungeons. You know, I need stuff. I'd like to finish some, you know, look, I still have quests I got to do. One's a raid. Exotic pets in a dungeon. Dungeon. I mean, pretty much everything is a dungeon. But if nobody wants to do a dungeon, I'm going to have to get some serious gear so that I can just walk in and pounce everything. So Off in the Head likes my the title of so I said he liked the title Putzing Along. I said it was your idea and reminded me what putzing was. So Off in the Head's a cool guy. He's an older guy. I won't say his age, but yeah, he's up there. And I remember I said, hey, let's do some PvP. Let's do some dungeons. But unfortunately, you know, he was telling me his reaction time and everything is a little slow. So I mean, you know, we can cover for him. So he's like, oh, so point to the old timer rule. So I'm giving him props because he plays the game. Hey, anybody that plays the game is cool in my book. It doesn't matter the age, because you go into a fantasy world to forget what's going on and just have a good time. So so often the head says, everyone I have ever met calls me Pops. So I said, so we go into a fantasy world to forget our problems and have fun. And there was a girl I heard about that was handicapped, but when she entered the world, she was a warrior. So he's like, I'm Pops half the wild world. Wow, Pops. All right, so yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm going the wrong way. So my goal is to get out of Orgrimmar. So I'm going to get out of Orgrimmar. You get to see, you get to witness the great Ominus step out of Orgrimmar. And I'm going to go, I think it's south. Yes, it's south. So, and the reason, why am I going south? So again, I'm going to hook up my level 5 orc wife, rogue wife, excuse me. She's level 5 here in the Alliance side. I've shown pictures in the old content that I had. She's a rogue, and she's fairly decked out. She's not too bad. But I'm going to do the same with her. The other account, I had 2 accounts at the time, so I could just have her auto-follow me and kill everything, and she would get credit. But it's all good, because right now I am going to go to Galgar's Cactus Apple Surprise, I guess. So I am going to ride all the way down there, and I pretty much cleared a lot of the quests here. And but again, that was more to like get a better reputation with the trolls and everything else. So here, he gave me off in the head gave me a quote. If you believe you are, you will be. If you believe you are not, your mind will allow you to do stuff that they say you cannot. In other words, if you believe you can do something, guess what? You can do it. If you have doubt and you don't have anybody to like say you can do it, and you don't believe in yourself, that's what's going to happen. However, if you believe in yourself and there's a lot of naysayers that tell you no, but you believe in yourself, you'll get it done. There's a lot of cases like that where people were told, oh yeah, you know, you can't mount to this, you can't, don't, I'm giving you advice, do not listen to people like that. As long as it's legal and you're not breaking any laws and you don't want to become like a pimp or some kind of drug dealer, yeah, don't do that. Don't ever say that I said to do that. But as long as you believe that you can do something, whether it's a business idea, whether it's a theory, if you believe it can happen, believe it, it can be done. But remember, there's always going to be people that want you to succeed, but there's also people that don't want you to succeed. It's up to you to differentiate. You know, it's all on you, really. You have to believe in yourself. There was a Netflix, I don't think it was, let me see. This is actually pretty interesting. Let me see if I could find this. It was actually a pretty interesting movie that I saw. It was a Netflix thing. Dolomite is my name. If you saw that, it's on Netflix, or was on Netflix, I don't know. But anyway, it's based on a true story. But throughout his journey, you don't know how many people said that he couldn't do it. That nobody believed in him. But his attitude, now that was impressive, because when people said, yeah, you're not going to do it, yeah, we don't see it, yeah, we're not going to give you a loan, yeah, we're not, he would somehow figure out a way. As a matter of fact, he borrowed money for from some questionable people, but he actually turned them around, and they ended up liking the guy, and they actually believed in him enough that they gave him money. And the guy was he did very good. I mean, I think he passed away a while back, but it's a good movie in the sense that you see what happens when people don't believe in you, and it's up to you if you believe their hype or if you believe in yourself. So a positive note: believe in yourself. And I'm like, it's very true. I gave an inspiring speech just now. Oh, he went offline. So, oh, for reals. So I'm like, hey, I was wondering where you went. I just gave an inspiring speech. But no, all jokes aside, though, it's true. Take it from me. I started as a cleaner, and I worked my way to a master's degree. And on the way up, you see a lot of things. You see how you're treated, and you learn. So never forget your ride up, and never, avoid stepping on other people. Eventually, they get their own medicine. You don't have to do a thing. So you believe in yourself. You do what you need to do. And again, there's always going to be people that there will be people that will help you or try to get you to a better place. But remember, there's always people that are going to try to put you down and treat you like you don't know what you're doing. Again, you believe in yourself, all right? And if you have a significant other that believes in you, even better. But at the end of the day, it's all on you. So my quest objective is to bring Galgar 10 cactus apples. You remember him saying that they could be found near cactuses. All right, so I can
go forth to victory.
And twitch.tv for so I'm telling them, go to twitch.tv, look for Strategyst Plays, subscribe. Oh, look at all that. I got all these cactuses. So, again, since nobody wants to do dungeons, everybody wants to do their own thing. You know what? I'm going to do my own thing too. And I really, now that I got a fast mount, I can do this. And, I mean, there's not going to be high-level mobs. Is it HTTP? All right, give me a second, guys. I'm going to try to... guide Off in the Head / for reals into Twitch TV. So if I don't do it today, that's okay. I'll introduce them. So I'm kind of leading them over to where to go. And that's another thing, if there's a lot of people that they don't like to take criticism. If the criticism is constructive, and this is my advice to you guys, if the criticism is constructive and...
Yes. Too far away.
Okay, let me go back. If the criticism is constructive and is meant to help you grow, by all means, take it. You know, it's worth it. And it's something that you can learn from. You can also learn from observing, like leaders. Because a lot of leaders, they say, oh, do as I say, not as I do. Incorrect. That's an X. if they're gonna lead, they need to act like a leader and not only talk the talk but walk the walk. So if you're gonna say something, you do it. If you're a leader. So if it's constructive criticism, what's an example here? Hold on, guys. So a good example of hold on, I'm still trying to, there we go. So a good example is another TV viewer. I don't know your name, but let's say your name is another TV viewer. I said, you know, you did an excellent job on XYZ, but I'd like you to try this out a little bit. This might help your productivity or whatever. Okay, first off, I told you you're doing a good job, and you got to mean it. If you're a leader, you got to mean it. Don't be BSing, because people pick up when you're BSing someone. So I tell you, hey, you know, you're doing a great job. That's step one. If you're doing a great job, I'm not going to lie. You're doing a great job. But if try this technique might increase productivity, or, you know, because maybe as a supervisor or manager, I see potential that you might one day be a great manager or leader, or, you know, something like that. So that's constructive. Destructive criticism would be, I praise you, but at the same time I tell you how much you suck. So on that note, take the constructive criticism, but also that doesn't mean that you have to take crap from somebody telling you you suck. I hope I'm getting through, because there's always people like that. That is not an effective leader. At that point, keep your mouth shut, you know, take note, okay, what you did right, and move on from there. People like that, you can learn a lot from, and this is why. Learn from their mistakes, because sooner or later, and I just told you this earlier, things come around. So when they're fired, when they're on the chopping block or whatever, you learn from the good and you learn from the bad. A good example is, believe it or not, Pitbull. Pitbull's a singer, he's a rapper, and you know, one time they were giving an interview, and I was actually very impressed with what he had to say. He basically, that they were trying to call on some artists that might have been jerks to him. And one thing he said, he didn't call them out. He didn't say, yeah, that guy was or that woman was a, nope. What he did was he said, you know, I take all this as a learning experience. I learn from them. I take the good and the bad, but I primarily take the good. So that's what you got to do. So when you know, some leader is griefing you or whatever, or just not competent, hey, let him be. You know, I mean, it's just take the good, learn from that, because when the day comes that you're the leader and you're in charge,
Your blades never dull.
you know the good and the bad. You should be aware now that, well, I like this, but I didn't like that. Don't make the mistake that now you're a leader, you get a big head, and you start repeating the same things that were done to you. That's not good leadership. So today's lesson is, yes, it's a game. I'm playing a game, but I'm also giving you advice from my many years of seeing things and learning and you know, just witnessing a lot of the good and the bad. But for the most part, though, what you want to do is learn. You know. So right now, it's a good opportunity. If you want to be a leader, read about leadership. They actually have a book. It's like if you like Star Trek, it's like a Captain Picard's journal, and he talks about all these different episodes of Star Trek from the Next Generation. But in it, he actually describes leadership, and a good leader learns from his or her mistakes. A good leader is willing to listen, because one of the biggest errors Napoleon made was that his military was telling him, we're tired, we've been fighting nonstop, we need to rest. Nope, we're gonna get to Waterloo. Nope, we're gonna get to Waterloo. And they were like, this might not be a good idea. He wouldn't listen. So if you read history, you know what happened. everything went, oops, everything went south. And I said oops because Benedict's chest. Let's take a look at Benedict's chest. So, as a leader, there's a lot. I mean, there's you know, there was also a thing I read a long time ago about leadership is in the DNA versus leadership can be learned and acquired. You know what? If you want to be a leader, remember I told you about believing in yourself? Believe in yourself. Don't think about this DNA. That's like you know, I remember there was a guy that used to work with us, and he was a janitor, and nobody really took the time to talk to him, but I would talk to him. And I realized the guy was a very smart guy. And one you know, I was a group leader in this place, and they were looking for someone to hire in IT. So this janitor that I would talk to, and he's a smart guy. So one day my supervisor / manager said, "Hey, do you have any recommendations for someone to hire?" And I said, "Yeah, the janitor." So my supervisor thought it was kind of funny, and I was like, "No, I'm serious. I want him in our team." So he kind of looked at me and goes, "You're serious?" I was like, "Yes, I just told you I'm serious." So we ended up getting the supervisor to hire the janitor. Well, the janitor turned out to be a very good, and this is IT, and this is before where you needed all these certifications and all that. The janitor ended up being a good IT guy. He didn't work for my group. He worked for another group, but he was good. And the bottom line is, you know, talk to people. You're gonna know who's who, but don't make assumptions about people. If somebody's a janitor, that doesn't mean nothing. Because again, it's like that song, started from the bottom, now we're here. Well, I remember being a quote-unquote cleaner, and I've come a long way since then. So never underestimate someone. Never, you know, it's like martial arts. Never underestimate your opponent. You might know all these fancy moves, but the guy has 10, 20 years of boxing and knows a little bit of wrestling. And you take that swing, next thing you know, you're in the hospital waking up like, what just happened, you know? So keep things like that in mind. Never underestimate people. Show respect. Hold on. And let's see if somebody's going to take a swing at me. Nope. And, you know, learn. Continue learning. So, because in the end it pays. You can be whatever you want to be, but in the end it's all up to you if you believe. Now, I've worked with all sorts of people. I worked with competent leaders and people I respected, to people that were like, whoa, dude. I mean, I never disrespected them, but I knew where they're... I knew that, you know, they weren't leadership material, unfortunately. And that's kind of sad because, you know, you want to learn from your leaders. You want to get something that you can like say, wow, you know, I learned a lot from this guy, and I look forward to continuing to work for this guy. Not, geez, you know, I don't get it. Hold on. I guess I gotta kill everybody. But you know, I work for good and bad. I work for great directors. I work for not so great directors. I won't name anybody, but really, the bottom line is that you can whether it's good or bad, you learn and take it from like what I was impressed by Pitbull, but by what he said. He didn't put anybody down, and he said, you know, like from some of these quote-unquote jerks, he learned hard work, because there are people that you might work with that are perfectionists, and some people get fed up with perfectionists. You know, they're like, Jesus, this guy wants to go over this again. But you know what? Take a step back. And one thing about perfectionists is they want to get it right. They want to get to that next level. But guess what? Sometimes in either the business world or whatever you're doing, even if you're an athlete, it's the perfectionist. It's that person that's willing to do it a million times that's gonna exceed expectations. You know, even their lack of effort. Let's say they're tired. They had a bad, like Michael Jordan. There was one game the guy was sick with the flu, all messed up. One of the greatest games he ever played, because even at his worst, he was such an athlete, such a perfectionist, that he just took it to a whole new level. You know what I mean? So take that into consideration. Hold on, I gotta find this guy. Who do I kill? I guess I gotta kill everybody. So yes, I know it's low B mobs. I know, guys, I know. But again, I'm working for reputation and everything. So, yeah, even at their worst, they're so good that you can't. What can you do? Because they've trained themselves so much to be a perfectionist, to take it to that level, that even without them trying, they're good. You know. So learn from them. Like Pitbull said, I you know, bad or good, I learned from them. Okay, I'm looking for a key. Looking for a key. I'll just kill everything. That guy, by the time he gets to me, he's dead. Alright, where am I? Now, let me take a look for this Admiral's orders. So to be the best, you got to learn from the best. So if you're lucky enough to get a good leader, great. If you're unlucky enough to get a bad leader, still learn from, you know, still learn, because everything he's doing that's messed up, take note, and when you become a future leader, don't do it. Another type of leader that I respected was, there was one guy that I worked with, and there might have been people, and I think I've said this before, there were people that he might not have liked, right? Might not have liked at all. Didn't see eye to eye with them all the time. However, he was a competent leader in the sense that if he didn't like somebody, he wasn't going to like screw them over a review or anything. He was honest. He might, you know, he would, like he told me, I might not have a drink with him. However, they're a good worker, so I could respect that. You know, he would call a spade. You know, if the person obviously wasn't competent, that's what it was. You know, and he would put it down. However, whether he liked someone or not didn't account for him giving him a fair review. And I learned from that, because you might not like someone, but dislike should not translate into you screwing them over for a review. Does that make sense? Because how would you like to be treated if somebody didn't like you and they screwed you over in a review and it's a lie? So take that into account, learn from it, because it does happen. And to me, that's childish behavior. That's someone that's not a leader, shouldn't be a leader, and shows incompetence. Because if someone can do the job, is doing the job, and hold on, and you as a leader can't call it that they're doing it because you don't like them, because maybe your friend doesn't like them or whatever, that's childish. That's just like totally lame. So don't do that, because at the end of the day, they might need a job too. And I've run into that where as a leader, there was somebody that another group didn't like, so they sent them to us to basically get terminated. You know, give him another chance. But the other chance was more like, let's get him fired. So I took that into stock, and from my learning from the other guy, the guy was on time all the time. He did his job. I really couldn't find anything that he had any issues. The only thing I did find, and it's not a bad thing, is he would stand up for himself if somebody was being a jerk to him. He would say, hey, you need to stop, dude. I don't care who you are, just stop. And you know what? It's within your right to tell someone to stop if they're doing that to you. So, again, there was nothing wrong with the guy. It's just that, come to find out later on, that it's just that the group leader's friend from the other group didn't like him because he stood up for himself when the guy was being a jerk. So anyway, he got hired and he did a very good job. But anyway, that's you know, that doesn't always occur, but it's there. And if you want to be a leader, learn how to cope with it. If you don't like someone, you don't like someone. But that doesn't mean you play the let's get even game. They'll do it to themselves, you know. And again, life is not fair, so don't expect fairness from anything and everyone and everybody, and I don't know, any possible situation. Life is not fair, you know. Sort of like the kids that I mentioned before, that everybody gets first place. Life is not like that, you know. You're doing a business deal, and a foreign company beats you with a deal. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna jump up and down and be like, that's not fair, I should have went? No, dude. Or do that. It happens, you know. So learn to cope. Alright. I'm just gonna dot everybody. Oh, this must be the guy. Look at that. I'm like a plague here. Look at that. Everybody's dropping. Alright, so I need some keys. And I know I don't really care about this. Where's there we go. I got the key. Alright, so I got the key. So enough of my rant. I just wanted to share some insight into things. And it all started with Putzing Along, the title of this stream. Give me a second. What do I got? Do I have anything good? Wow. I got a shiny red apple, but yeah, I don't need any of that. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go to the top. I think. Where am I going? So, yep, there's a lot in life that people don't realize, and one of them is being fair. Just work on being fair, because yes, not everybody might be fair to you, but everything does come around. There was a guy I knew that he really wasn't fair. He you know, he belittled his own group. He had no respect for his workers. You name it. He you know, just, it was just bad. So eventually and this is years and years later, was not an overnight thing, but let me see if did I even finish this, Captain? All right. What did I miss? Okay, I did this. The Admiral's orders. Where is it? So anyway, years later, I saw him at a bookshop, when bookshops actually were open, and they had let him go, and he basically got his comeuppance. And there he was, complaining about the exact thing I told him about, because I remember putting him aside saying, hey, you know, your group is what makes or breaks you. And I told him, I said, you know, you should treat the guys with better respect, because you never know, you know, if they decide to leave your group and they go to other groups, that's saying a lot, for one, and for two, you know, that's credibility, because they make you look good. And the guy didn't care. So when it came down to it, his group had pretty much left him. He had another group. He didn't know his job. Oh, hold on. He didn't know his job, and to make it worse, there was nobody from his group backing him up. So finally, what happened was he got let go. So I think as a leader, he should have. I mean, I gave him advice; it was free, and he didn't listen. And like I said, years later, that's where I saw him in a bookstore, and he was lamenting about how he got treated and everything. But he never, if he had thought, he should have thought how he was treating other people. So some people learn, other people not so much. And I would say he was the other people that not so much type. And again, that's unfortunately because leaders should learn. And I've met leaders that they had an opportunity to give somebody not just a raise, but give them like a leadership position. But since they didn't like them, they didn't do it. And then, funny thing is, remember I say things come around? So things would come around, and these same leaders that wouldn't give anybody the time of day were lamenting and commenting and aggravated that they in turn were not getting leadership positions that they wouldn't even give to other people. So everything comes back somehow. All right. La 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 la. Where is the mailbox? There we go. Or actually, not even a mailbox. Do I have anything to sell? Okay.
What are you looking for?
What level is this? Level 27. All right. All right. This is more for like my level 31. That's not gonna do it. My rogue wife cannot wear. All right, leather. All right, so what level is this? Level 28, not there yet. Level 3 sword, no. Car's level 5, so back and back. They're both, all right, how does it look? Versus, yeah. All right. And my wife cannot wear mail. So yeah, little by little, I'm kind of hooking up my rogue wife's character. See what happens. All right, so I will send that to her. So yeah, leadership is a tricky thing. You can be a great leader, but it's best to learn from other leaders, the good and the bad. You have I know one guy was a group leader, and he got the title group leader, and when it went to his head, so he liked barking out orders and getting people to do all this stuff, and he was kind of a jerk to people. No, not kind. He was a jerk, okay, to people. And this is from his own words, because I talked to him after, because he used to be when I say a leader, he ended up being the supervisor. And he got kicked, and he ended up being the grunt. So I remember him telling me, he's like, you know, I asked him one time out, is there anything you regret as far as being a supervisor? And he looked at me, he goes, and straight face, he goes, yeah, there was a guy I was really unfair with. Total jerk. And in hindsight, if I can go back and take it all back and fix that, I think it would have worked out well. And because now I'm on that receiving end of what I used to do. That's his own words. So it comes back somehow. All right, let me see what quests I can take here.
Strength and honor.
All right, so yeah, I'll take some. And what else? I will take some of these quests here.
Loktar. Be safe.
I think all I can take is 3. Yeah.
Makra. For the whole.
All right. Anyway. Yep, let's do this. Look at that, an hour and 30 minutes, people. I've been talking that long. My wife is right, I talk too much. No, I really don't. So yeah, take notes, people. You know, whether it's leadership, whether you're looking to get into a management, or, you know, or you're a group leader, or whether you're just observing. You know, it doesn't hurt to observe. Yes, there have been people that I work for that I was just like, wow, that they don't get it. And sure enough, they don't get it. And I hold on. I have seen them go away. 1 minute they're there, next minute they're no longer in the company. But they do it to themselves. And a lot of times, sometimes they have to start from the bottom. And hopefully they learn. Let's see. 20 out of 20. I can't take this. I can't take this quest. So I'm going to jump. No, not to commit suicide, but I'm going to jump. Uh-oh. And you know what? I've been commenting that I wanted to put music into my stuff. So watch this, guys. You're going to love it. Oh, hold on. Let me... Yeah, there we go. Check this out. Cannibalize. Look at my hit points and my mana. It's monstrous now. So, what's the trick? So I made a hotkey or a macro for cannibalize, and I wanted you guys to take a look. And once I find it, there it is. So cast cannibalize, cast dried king bullet, whatever you have for food, and cast morning glory dew. So it does cannibalize and eating and drinking all at the same time, which, as you see, I wasted no time in getting all my my mana and my health back. And I learned this from watching a video. I think it's for Void that showed it. Oops, how do I get out of here? Alright guys, sense of direction. I'm stuck again. Hold on. Somebody's got to let me out some way. I think I'm going the right way. I think I was going the right way. Yep, looks that way. Or not. I had my hopes high, but is it this way? Look at that. Alright, so I got one. What were the other ones in Alright, so I gotta go to Echo Isle. There it is. Luckily for me, I have the swim belt. Right here. And I'll put that on when I hit the ocean. Or the water, or wherever I'm going. The Great Sea. Alright, I could do it. So, yep. So today you guys got a lesson on leadership. A few lessons on leadership. So, don't let it get to your head. That's the biggest thing. And I remember at one point when I first became a leader, it did get to my head, but luckily the people I was in charge with basically told me, hey, dude, you're a dick. You know? So that was a wake-up call for one, and two, that's when I started reading about leadership and observing leaders at work. Everything from management, everything from actually group leaders, supervisors, managers, directors. I actually, when I was going for my MBA, I worked under a few directors and had some good lessons along the way, which I, you know when you're working for a good, speak with Margaz. You know you're working for a good leader well, you just know. They give you good advice. And then you know when you're working for a really bad leader, when they have to remind their people, well, I'm a director. Hey, that doesn't give you a license to kill. Or a license to mistreat people. Or a license to be incompetent. You have to... You shouldn't be flaunting your title around, because all you're doing now is just flaunting a title around. And then, you know, and you can't lament later. Or actually, I heard the person say that he didn't know why he had no respect. Well, when you're bullying people and you're telling people, well, I'm a director, like take it or leave it, yeah, you're not going to win a lot of friends, and you're not definitely going to earn respect. So respect is a two-way streak, and I'm sure you guys have heard it before. You know, by all means, if you want to be respected, you have to show respect. So not... hold on. Make sure that I can get through here. So you don't want to tout. You don't want to be a jerk to people. That's like if I became a director. Hey, you know what? If I became a CEO and I tell the board of directors, well, I'm the CEO. That's a wrong crowd to tell that, because in the back of their mind, it's like, well, if you're telling us that, are you bullying your subordinates with that? No. In other words, if you're a leader and your title is CEO or title is director, people know that. People can respect that. But if you have to call people out because you're screwing up, and you have to tell them, well, I'm the director, I'm telling you people, that's a no-no. That's like you're the captain of the Enterprise, and you're like, well, I'm the captain. Fire those photon torpedoes on the civilian vessel. Well, I'm the captain. That doesn't work. It puts a target on you. It makes people realize that you're incompetent, and it makes people, you know, people realize that they don't want to work for you. So it comes back somehow, some way. All right, give me 1 second. I'm switching belts, and what the hell am I looking for here? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Something up here. So yeah, if you're asking why is Ominus in a Lobi island, it's all for my rogue wife. And oh, was that it? What am I looking for? Oh, tail lasher eggs. Apparently it was around here somewhere. Alright, let me see if I can... Alright, let me just... Oh, look at that, a chest. So yeah, earlier today I was actually trying to see if I can do Soul Gurub or something, and the guild has plans to do a 20-man. But I don't know if I'm going to be a part of that, or if I can do it. But we shall see. Alright, so they're purple. So yeah, that was my goal. I wanted to do a dungeon, anything, and my rant originally was that nobody wants to do things anymore. Now, that's where Off in the Head and I agreed. You know, never forget your humble beginnings. I think that's a lesson in life as well as in game. Don't forget the basics. And I certainly hope that at home you guys are doing well. Nobody's sick, and you know, my wife knows a lot of people that have friends of their family have passed due to the coronavirus and everything. And, you know, this is the world we live in right now. That social distancing, and, you know, you don't realize distance and loneliness until it actually happens. And, you know, or even family. There's family members that they're in a different state. They can't even, you know, drop by their parents' house to wish them a happy birthday. It's that bad. So, here we go. All right, 3 out of 3 eggs. Now, what's the next thing? So I got that. I got that. What's the other? Whoops. All right, so complete. That's it. Ah, Margot's. Ah. All right, so I got to visit somebody. All right. It's okay. I'm a professional swimmer. Yeah, I'll go this way. So yeah, so this is what happens when the guild doesn't want to do a whole lot. I'm only kidding. It wouldn't matter. I had it planned to like work a little bit on my wife's rogue character, and when I say work on it indirectly by getting her items slowly. If I can get a nice blue drop for a level 5 or level 6 for her, even better. I don't want to buy it. I want to get it from a lower mob. And that's another thing that I want to touch on. If you have, let's say you have 2 toons or 2 characters or 2 accounts. 2 accounts is good because you can use your high level to power level your lower level. But if you have it on the same account, you can always twink. That's what it's called. You can always twink your alt by getting them good stuff from your high level character. Nothing wrong with that, because a lot of people are like, oh, twink, or they might insult you because you have a twink character. But at the end of the day, and the bottom line is, you originally worked hard for your first character to get to 60, 70, 80, 120, whatever the level is. So, you know what? It's your right to twink your lower level character because you've already earned that high level on the other one. So, I don't see a problem with it. I mean, some people frown on that, but you know what? If you earned it, you earned it. So, and besides, you know, Kenita is my bank character / salesperson. So I give the items to her. Don't you want to, you know, if you were a business person, I'll put it this way. If you were a business person and you're going to buy off of somebody, right? And the guy on the left is dressed crappy, picking their nose, messing around with their ear, spitting in their hand, rubbing it on their chest. And then you have the person on the right. Let's say that, you know, a woman. She's well dressed. She's very professional. You could tell that this person knows what they're talking about. Their gear is outstanding. Okay, so you have all these qualities. And again, she's an astute business person. So you're going to go on the guy on the left that'll probably hose you or screw you with items, or are you going to go to the person on the right that knows what they're doing? So I figure, hey, you know, I'll dress up my wife's character. She's a salesperson. Maybe she could end up selling to a high-level character and show up, and there she is all decked out. No harm, no foul. So let me turn these quests in. These high-level quests for a level 6. And there we go. And besides, this is a good way to slowly build rep.
What do you need? Strength.
Okay, so that one's done. You know what? What's in something up here? Let's see. Can I even get to it? Look at that. A shortcut.
Stronghold.
Oops. Okay, that's not really what I needed. Let's see this guy up. There we go. Maybe this is the quest guy. Oh, come on. Oh, that leaves the guy up in the tower then. So again, if you're playing game and nobody wants to do anything, I'm sure you can figure out something you could do for yourself that's fun. So in this case, I'm just taking low level quests and building my rep. All right, is there in there? No.
What do you need?
All right, carry your weight. Age has rendered me useless in battle. Now I make myself useful in other ways. From this vantage point, I watch for invaders. As our strength here grows, I find myself blowing the signal horn less and less. To pass the time, I fashion goods to help younger, more able warriors defend our homeland. For you, I can fashion you a bag for your belongings, if such an item would be of use to you. Bring me some canvas, a material common to the humans and centaurs. Furl Scornbrow in Razor Hill Watchtower wants 8 canvas scraps. Alright. Yeah, I can do it. I'll even jump off of this. Okay. So I know where to go. I know what to do. And I got 20 out of 20, so... Alright. So I hope, as I told an individual, how can... If you're a manager and you're a jerk to someone, how do you expect that you're going to get 100% effort from people that you're a jerk to? Things go down gradually. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60%. Eventually they don't even care. And I've had leaders literally screaming at the top of their lungs why people weren't doing their job and that this wasn't going to happen, and that was because they literally gave up working. So here you have a leadership, and the leadership they're realizing that yeah, nobody respects you anymore. That's not a good that is not a good situation to be in if you're a leader, where your subordinates or the people that work for you, they hold you in contempt so much that they're not doing the job. So don't be that guy. Leadership 101 with Ominus. Remember, I'm undead, so I've had a long history of all this stuff. You could say even ancient. Who knows how long I've been undead? Maybe thousands of years? You don't know that. Beauty of having a high level. Look at that. You need something, you just come and get it. And you don't have to worry about asking for help or anything. So if nobody wants to help you in a dungeon, well, it's okay. So many ways I can go. Okay, I got Benedict's key, but I don't know. So I get Benedict's key. I open his... I don't know. And that's it. They should be dead. Skull Rock. The joys of being a higher level. Money. And yeah, I did overkill here. Well, them's are the breaks. That's what warlocks do. We're here to we're not here to make friends. We're here to overkill everything and maybe upset a few people that wanted to get their DPS in there. Oops.
I can't carry anymore.
All right, you can't carry anymore. No problem. All right, let's go to the next stop. I'm not that crazy. Not yet. Alright, so let me turn that in, and then later on I'll do all the other quests that I need to... Oh boy. Alright. Let me
Power to the Forsaken.
So I buffed Orc and Freeman with some Uber buffs.
I have just the thing for you.
And you know what? I'll keep that. With bandages. Oh, it's only 2. Did I just lag? Yep, I lagged. That was bizarre. Sayonara! So I'm going to tell Sayonara about the new word. So, to Sayonara, today I learned a new word. You ready for it? What's the word, bird? Putzing. So, so I titled my video Putzing Along, so I'm letting her know. Do you know what that means? I'm wondering, hey, I was kind of caught off guard. It's like putzing. So I did think of a little cargo and just putting along, but I don't know if that was right. Yeah, or as my mom calls it, effing off. I won't put that, because that's actually a character's name. They said mages could farm, but I'm not having fun. Having luck. So I'm letting her know. She says, they said mages could farm, but I'm not having any luck. I was like, well, you do way of weak hiding. Mages are awesome sauce on it. Just make sure that there's plenty of intelligence. And I said, just make sure you have a lot of intelligence just in case. Yes, mages are awesome. They can piss off an entire group of mobs. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever. But make sure you have the intelligence, and that's one thing. And 2, be ready for, in a PvP server, be ready for PvP, because while you're kiting, they might go after you. And I said, also, while you need spirit, you need intellect, you need agility, you need strength. So I said, woo, gave you strength. I just left it at that. But she's got intellect and everything. All right. So I said, making sure you can lift up an alliance guy or girl or gal and fling them across the pond. That's why I gave her strength. plus the strength. And I know you want the tank soon. So her intelligence is 324. So I said, I think what some mages do is use a lower level base spell to AoE to basically freeze their, slow down the mobs, and then the big nukes is what they use with the. So I said, bah, we'll have to experiment on my Alliance mage sometime. And you can always test it out in a non-PvP area. And I said, until you think you're good enough for it and ready to kick butt. Yeah, practice. See? Back to basics, people, what I told you earlier. Because, again, if I wanted to do that on my Alliance mage, I have a Gnome Alliance mage, I would have to, I'd have to practice, because I never really tried it. I don't even know if my mana would hold. Not pots. So I said also plenty of pots. Not pots. So I'm like, I was telling Sayonara, I was trying to, with a pot, she might have too much fun. And, where was I going? Oh, yes. And literally go into an Alliance city because she's high. Alright, so let me go back. Yep, she left. I didn't see the see you later. Alrighty. I like messing with Sayonara. She's fun. Alright. Oh, man. Wait, did it go down? No. Another. Oh. Yep. It's around here. There you are.
Blood and thunder! Farewell!
Alright, so I will leave that like that. And there's a letter that I just want to complete. Hold on, where is that letter? No. Alright, so back to Razor Hill, people. So again, I am just trying to get more honor with everything. Oops, wrong way. I've been doing a lot of the high level quests, but sometimes you want to start at the bottom and work your way to the top. So I figure I'll do that. Oh. Nah, I don't think I want to bother him. He's a group leader. I'll put it out there on YouTube. There we go. And Razor Hill. Alright. You know, it's, you know, do I really want to stay there for 2 or 3 hours when I could be doing something new with you guys? So yeah, I'll probably put it right on YouTube, and then I can focus on the rest of the stuff that I want to do. Oh, tomorrow too, Friday. On Gulch and try to get as many as I can done. Men land upon our shores. We need to get these orders to Nazgrel and Orgrimmar immediately. He can be found in Thrall's chamber. Alright, so I will do that. Deliver ad. Telling you, you could trust me. I know all about this. Classic WoW.
Strength.
That's sort of like the one I have in line where Blood Elves will never be a member of the Horde family. You know they won't. I have spoken. Yep, I got to get rid of a few quests. Or outpost at the bridge. The orc outpost at the bridge. For some reason I was thinking of the upper bridge over here, but that was not it. Ha! You can't catch me. Maybe on my slow mount you could have.
Lotar.
But yep, this is the sucky part, is that nobody's trying to do dungeons or anything. And a few minutes. But I can buffer up. Let's see. This I can do. Darn it, I'm too nice. I'm thinking. I just buffed her up. Alright, let me out of here before my sentiments get the better of me. I help, and then AV comes along and I can't help.
Strength and honor.
That's right. Alright. And trust me guys, I've fallen off from such high heights that it has been dizzying. Like, it really feels like you're falling. And because you're so into the game, I got a big screen, I'm looking, I'm like, whoa, it's freaky. I can imagine with 3D virtual reality goggles how that would look. Alright, back to Razor Hill. So I can quote-unquote complete that quest. So from here, I will stop a bit because my time's coming up. So the good thing is I won't need a hearth over to Undercity, because by the time I go into AV, do the AV, and then end the AV, I will be in Undercity. Yeah, that would have helped. I gotta continue to remember when I switch out things to put them back. Okay, I'm in Razor Hill. And it says it's complete. Carry your weight.
What do you need?
Is this not
Go
him?
forth to victory.
I must be misreading a cue or something. Frostgone, bro. The watchtower. All along the watchtower. I don't know why I went to that guy. There it is. See, I hate that. It shows me the dot. Just to be, you know, safe. Alright, couldn't do it.
Slay them all.
Seriously. But, even better, I get more shards. It's all about the shards, people, when it comes to warlocks. It's not about love. It's not about friendliness. It's about the shards. Alright. So you guys know that I'm going to go after Mountaineer Boombellow. Yes, I am. Nothing personal. This is just business. Warlock shards are awesome. And classic. There you go. Alright. So I do need some health. And now,
That spell isn't ready yet.
there we go. Another shard. And now I'm going to cannibalize. Now, woe to anybody that ruins my feast right now. Like, that means rogues, druids, anybody that tries to gank me. Nobody ruins a warlock's food and gets away with it. Alright. So we are actually doing very good time. A lot better. And I will bestow strength upon my pet. So all these I'm actually going to put in the bank. Not all of them, but a good amount of them. Okay. Can I eat off of these guys? Waiting for cannibalize to... Yep. Oh, there we go. If anybody asks me, I'm going to tell them I put talent points into cannibalize.